speculation about Giovanni Pernice's future on Strictly Come Dancing is still rife as the BBC continues its investigation into complaints of allegedly threatening and abusive behaviour. The broadcaster has reportedly launched an internal investigation after receiving complaints from his previous dance partners on the show, including Amanda Abbington and Laura Whitmore. But the Italian professional dancer, 33, could save his reputation with just one important move, according to a PR expert. Giovanni has been under fire ever since his celebrity partner Amanda dramatically quit the latest series after just 4 weeks, despite scoring big numbers on the leaderboard. The Sherlock actress cited personal reasons for her shock exit, but later claimed she was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder following her time on Strictly, and it was reported that she told friends she felt Giovanni was abrasive with her during training. Other celebrity partners have complained about his militant training style in years gone by, and it was reported that Amanda had secretly met with some of his former dance pairings about his behavior. Most recently, Amanda branded Giovanni nasty and awful after his team reportedly insisted that he was the one to ask the BBC to record their rehearsals as he had grown concerned about Amanda's behavior. Giovanni has strongly denied any wrongdoing, but a source claims he has decided to step away from the hit show to pursue other career goals and telly opportunities. Gio feels the scrutiny on him has become too much, and now is the time to make a fresh start, the source told The Sun. But is there any coming back for Giovanni in the wake of the damaging allegations? Crisis management expert Edward Coram James, CEO of Go Up, argues that the next step for Giovanni would be to release a defiant statement to get ahead. He should acknowledge that his training can be intense, but that there is a key difference between intense and toxic, that he pursues perfection in himself, and so demands the same from those he works with, he told the Mirror. And, if that doesn't work for them, then they shouldn't work with him. Brilliance requires sacrifice. That sort of thing. So long as the allegations don't end up being too nefarious, I believe that the public will sympathize with this position and respect the integrity behind it. When it comes to diffusing a reputational damage situation in the world of PR, Ed says a celebrity's brand before a scandal has a major part to play. Take James Martin, for example, who was forced to apologize after production staff accused him of berating people and reducing them to tears in front of other colleagues while filming his Spanish adventure program last May. He was also accused of lashing out after damage was done to his property during filming. He addressed the accusations and apologized for his actions as he opened up about one of the most fraught and difficult periods of his life, revealing a cancer diagnosis. Ed says of the TV chef, he never really lent into the idea that he possesses any above-average level of kindness. This, alongside legitimate health concerns and stresses that may have pushed anyone to breaking point, meant that, when he was accused of rude or toxic behavior towards colleagues and staff, he was able to pull through the episode relatively unscathed. He also compared this scenario to the accusations against American TV favorite Ellen DeGeneres, who forged a career out of a brand based on kindness and compassion yet was hit with claims of bullying. I take this very seriously and I want to say I'm so sorry to the people it affected, she said in response. Ed claimed, the allegations shattered her credibility. Speaking about the importance of maintaining a brand for a public figure's reputation, the expert added, nothing sinks a career quicker than the appearance of hypocrisy, insincerity or a lack of values and integrity. On the other hand, the expert claims that Giovanni has always been consistent, with him explaining in multiple past interviews that he strives to be the very best, a quality that was instilled from a young age as he moved away from home to compete. Following the most recent allegations involving Amanda, which he rejects, Giovanni took to Instagram to remind fans about his competitive nature. He said, "To my dear fans, you will be as surprised as I am that allegations have been made about my dance teaching methods in the media this week. Of course, I reject any suggestion of abusive or threatening behavior, and I look forward to clearing my name. Those who have followed my journey on Strictly Come Dancing over the last decade will know that I am passionate and competitive. No one is more ambitious for my dance partners than me. I have always striven to help them be the very best dancers they can be. This has always come from a place of love and wanting to win, for me and my dance partners. Thank you all once again for your continued love and support, Giovanni." But the PR expert wants the star to go even further in his response. Edward continued, "Pernice has never claimed to be anything other than competitive and a perfectionist. In fact, his entire brand is designed around those two notions. As such, I don't believe that these allegations will come as much of a surprise to many, and so cannot cause too much damage to his brand. He can legitimately turn around and say yup. Always told you I pushed people to their limits to bring out the best in them. Sometimes that's just what greatness takes. He should set expectations and should release a statement, confirming that he is strict in his training, that this is what is required in the pursuit of excellence. And that, if someone does not wish to pursue excellence, then they should not be paired with him. But maintaining that this is nothing that he hasn't always been very honest and open about. His competitiveness has always been a key part of his brand. So, as long as the allegations are not extreme, why are you surprised, and what is there to see here should be a key part of his counter-messaging." He compared the work ethic allegations to those thrown against superstar Lizzo, who was accused of sexual harassment, weight shaming and creating a toxic environment. Lizzo, who has since stepped back from music after denying the allegations, told her 13 million Instagram followers, "These sensationalized stories are coming from former employees who have already publicly admitted that they were told their behavior on tour was inappropriate and unprofessional. As an artist, I have always been very passionate about what I do. I take my music and my performances seriously because at the end of the day, I only want to put out the best art that represents me and my fans. With passion comes hard work and high standards. Sometimes I have to make hard decisions, but it's never my intention to make anyone feel uncomfortable or like they aren't valued as an important part of the team." Ed claims that the singer strongly leaned into the notion that she is her own harshest critic, demanding the highest levels of discipline and excellence from herself, and therefore the same would be expected of her entourage. He advises that Giovanni should put out a similar statement. From a PR point of view, Lizzo's response was spot on, Ed asserted. "If you want to be on the Lizzo train, she expects the same levels of excellence from you. And, excellence only comes from hard work, discipline and an often exhausting and sometimes punishing regime." The public, broadly speaking, decided that his was reasonable. That it was justifiable that a global artist would not compromise in the pursuit of excellence. Because the moment you stop providing that excellence, you compromise the integrity of your art form and betray the trust of your fan base. Alongside Giovanni's response to the accusations, the expert says the BBC also has an influence on the public perception of the Strictly star, depending on how they handle the outcome of the investigation. He criticized the BBC for potentially overreacting to the slightest bit of scandal, but says it is too early to judge. That investigation may well unearth evidence of serious wrongdoing, in which case Pernice will rightly have a huge amount of explaining to do, he said. Or, the evidence may instead point to a man that demands perfection from those that he works with, and pursues that perfection with a strict regime. All that we can do is wait and see. The BBC has said they cannot name Strictly or Giovanni, but referenced complaints made about a high-profile series in a statement. Recently, we have seen a number of media reports about a high-profile show. We would urge people not to indulge in speculation. Anyone involved in a complaint has a right to confidentiality and fair process, it read. If a complaint is made to the BBC, reassess and take any necessary steps to establish the facts, whether there is a case to answer, and, if appropriate, what action should be taken. This is all within the context of the BBC having duties of care to everyone linked to a complaint, that applies to those that have raised the complaint and to those that have been complained about. Whilst we know our shows have been positive experiences for many of those who have taken part, we will always look at any issues raised with care, fairness and sensitivity to everyone concerned. We will not be commenting further. The Mirror has approached Giovanni's representatives for comment.